I want to get into the MLB, and there's so much going around with Rob Manfred and the way he's running this league right now. When he was voted in, a lot of people thought he was going to be a great ambassador of the MLB, and really ever since he's come in, he didn't know about the whole Houston Astros situation, Boston Red Sox. Now you're hearing stuff with the New York Yankees. I mean, you're hearing all these different stories. What were your thoughts with this whole Houston Astros thing for the last 3 years? I've asked a lot of coaches; they've had their own thoughts to it. Do you think that Rob Manfred laid down the law on the Houston Astros, or you think he really took a step back on the Houston Astros?
I think, and again, I'm not an expert at the collective bargaining agreement. I think the fine and the fine that he levied was the maximum he could levy within that agreement. I think one of the things that could have been that you could argue it is that they could have basically taken the championship away from them. I think that's the one thing that would really send a major message, because I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you this quick small story. It does matter when you know what's coming. I mean, if you I played in the game one time in college in a summer league game, and I was getting the signals. They gave me the signals. I knew what was coming, and I got good swings. I knew what I could set on the pitch, and at that level, and when you know what's coming, those guys are so good. I mean, I'm just a regular player, but when I knew it was coming, I mean, I could put a good swing on it. I mean, I could set on, I could time it. I knew what was coming. It just made it so much easier. And then to win a World Series, I mean, the World Series. I mean, baseball. Even though it doesn't look like we're going to play this year, but that's another story. To cheat. That's pretty. I don't know the ethics, the morals. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's a bad scene. That's a bad optic for Major League Baseball. And then I think they did what they could do, but I think taking the championship away would have been. I don't think it would have been appropriate. It wouldn't have upset me. I think a lot of people would have agreed with that. I think that would be the only other thing that I think that they could levy that would have been a difference maker.
Do you think that kind of thing could happen in college baseball, or maybe is happening already? Have you seen it maybe with those types of schools? And also, if you were a manager in that situation where you thought your opponent was doing it to you, how would you adjust your game plan?
Well, the one thing about college, I mean, the way that we would steal signs is that you would steal them like you would, the catcher probably giving them away. That maybe they're doing something. Maybe the pitcher's tipping his pitches. There's something maybe when you're on second base, you can see inside the glove the grip of the ball. I mean, those are things that you can certainly do. You can coach to try to, the lessen the chances of someone picking up the signs, the way the catcher sets up, the way he gives the signs, the way he moves, the way he sets up in. If he sets up too early, those types of things can give it away. I would be shocked if a college baseball team had the facilities and the video equipment to be able to do that. We would switch. You switch the signals up. You have your catcher has a system. Whether you're going to go first sign, second sign, or you're going to go. You subtract -5, -4. You could do -5 on the third sign. There's some add and subtractings when you you get out there. You get a guy who's not a math major or something. He might we get crossed up out there. But you can do those types of things. I mean, signals is for as far as giving signs from third base. You can switch the indicator. You can do. I've never. I mean, I've questioned sometimes that they got our signs. They would pitch out when we were running, and I might question maybe, and then we come in and we try to make an adjustment. But for the most part, I haven't experienced a lot of that. But I do know that you do look for things to try to pick up. Signals and tip the things that could tip you off, and then you got to be real discreet about translating it or moving it through, so someone knows what's coming. But I think we do it, the old-fashioned way if we're going to do it at all, and then just kind of. I just think that's baseball.
Mhm.
But the way the Astros and the way that's just they're just too good for that.
We are talking to Riders University Bronx head baseball coach Barry Davis. You can check out his website by going to barrydavis.co. Again, it's Barry, BARRYDAVIS.co. Barry, I want to know your opinion right now with the major leagues. They're right now trying to implement the electric umpire, and a lot of coaches, a lot of managers think this is stealing the integrity of the game. What is your thoughts of the major leagues bringing electric umpires into the game?
Well, I don't like it. I'm a purist. I'm a traditionalist. I grew up, the umpires is part of the game. I think that the issue today is we have the technology to get it right. I mean, you see it in football with the replay. I mean, it drags the game. Baseball gets drug, the game gets drug out enough as it is. I don't know if that would speed it up or slow it, down, but I think it takes the human element out of it. I mean, you got humans playing it, and you got, people playing it, people. I don't think baseball players would be in favor of that, and I'm not sure that, if a union has a vote on that, I would be curious to see what they would vote if they do have a choice on that. But I wouldn't like it. I don't like some of the rules they're talking about, putting runners on first and second for extra inning games and those types of things. I mean, those are. I mean, I to me, an extra inning game, even if you're a fan of baseball, the extra inning game has a lot of factors. You got a pitcher sometimes up to bat. You got a position player sometimes pitching. I think the rosters could be expanded. I think that would help. Maybe add a couple more roster spots, 25, maybe up to 27. Have an extra pitcher or two, extra hitter or two coming off the bench. But the electric umpire, I would not be in favor of.
Talk about the College World Series regional format. We've seen it with baseball and softball in particular, where it's not like other college sports where they play at neutral sites a lot of the time in different neutral sites. The first seed in each region gets it all the time. They'll get the home field throughout somewhere near their school. Are you in favor of that type of setup, especially as a smaller school that probably wouldn't be a one seed, or do you think it's a big disadvantage for underdogs to create it going like you see in basketball and hockey and other college sports?
Well, the model they have now is that they've had for a number of years, and of course they're always looking to change and try to evolve and to think outside the box and what possibly would work. I think one of the things that's in the works now, we would always be a 4 seed for the most part, unless we had a great year and we beat some quality clubs. The RPIs is a factor in the selection of the tournament, but right now they have it, 16 sites, 4 teams. They're looking to add. This is one of the things they're thinking about, is making it 32 sites, and then having 32 teams, 32 sites with 2 teams, which is 64. So just for example, 2010. So when we go to Texas, it wouldn't be Lafayette and Rice wouldn't be there. Texas would play Ryder in a best of 3, and then the next weekend it would be you'd have all the winners of those 32 going to another round, in terms of the super regional, and that's what they're looking at to get more expansion in terms of more visibility for programs that are 17 through 32.
Barry,
I think that's what they're trying to do.
Barry, why don't you tell the fans how they can find you on social media?
Well, the website you've mentioned, this is something new for me. We have barrydavis.co. You can go on the website, and it's basically a leadership website where you can get information from me to help transform your program from basically a losing team to a winning program. I did a research study on transformation, leadership, and culture change, and we came up with 5 pillars. And these 5 pillars are 5 things that I feel like you must have to transform your program from loser to winner, or your organization from unsuccess to success. And all you have to do is go on there and sign up for the 5 pillars, and then it'll come to you automatically. And then one of the things that I'm hoping to gain from this is to go out and to speak. I'm speaking at the National Convention next January on this particular topic. And I feel like it's a topic a lot of coaches, Division 1, 2, and 3, junior college, and even high school could benefit from these 5 pillars. You also can follow me at Barry Davis 42 on Twitter. I don't use Instagram a lot. I use Twitter. And then of course you can go to gobronx.com at Rider University to get my email. But with the website now, you can sign up and you can get on a subscription list, and then I could contact you and we could discuss leadership, culture change, coaching, and a number of things that I feel like after 31 years of coaching, I can certainly be of some help to someone.
Well, guys, as you know, Barry Davis, go to Barry, BarryDavis.co. And like he was saying, go over there, sign up, and you can structure your way. Well, he's going to explain to you how you could structure a team of success if you have a baseball team. So definitely check that out. Barry, thank you for joining us. Barry, do us a favor. Text us your email address to this number so we can send you the clip, the audio clip to this and the video clip to the show of this interview.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'd love to get you on if the baseball season starts next year.
Well, definitely love to be back on. I appreciate you having me, and stay safe where you're at, and hopefully we'll talk soon.